Boker Tov Rabotai. The question arises when many Jews from different communities come and gather into one place like America, what becomes the custom of that place? Everybody brings their own customs. Some came from Russia, some came from Poland, some came from uh, Persia, some came from Spain, and other places as well. Some came from Turkey, some came from all kinds of areas. So the question is now, all of them come together in one place. Every one of them has a different custom. So then what becomes the custom of that country? How can we gauge such a thing like this and to say that there's a custom of America, a custom of America is like this, a custom of America is like that? That's a very big question. The truth is that we already mentioned several weeks ago, we talked about the issue of a person who moves from one country to another. And we quoted already from the Avkat Rochel, the Tshuva of Maran Bet Yosef, in his book Avkat Rochel, and Siman Reishut Bet. He says over there that when an individual or a community moves from one place to another, one country to another, they don't take their minhagim with them, their customs with them, like some kind of baggage, some kind of luggage. It doesn't work like that. Wherever they go, they have to keep the customs of that place where they arrived. So, for instance, the most the obvious case is when a person now, all the Jews that are in gathering into Eretz Israel, they're coming from all kinds of different places. So the truth is that already Maran Rabbi, he writes in his books, Yebi Omer and Yechavadat, and also the other books as well, and we also heard from him orally this issue, that he speaks about this many times, and he says that when people come to Eretz Israel, and they gather in from several different countries, some come from Paras, some come from Bukhara, some come from Turkey, some come from all kinds of areas. They all gather in from Morocco, from Tunis, all kinds of places. So the question is, what happens now? Everybody keeps their own custom from the old country the way they were. So the Rabbi Al-Bashalom, he told us that it shouldn't be like that. It should be that each one now that comes into Eretz Israel gets swallowed up into the majority of Eretz Israel. We're keeping the customs of Eretz Israel, so therefore they should keep the customs of Eretz Israel and forget about the customs that they came from over there, from their old country, because it doesn't apply over here to the new place. Unless a person wants to go back there, and live there again, that's something else. But if he plans to stay where he is and not to go back, so therefore in a case like that, a person has to keep the customs of the new place and forget about the customs of the old place. But that applies to a place where there's a uniform custom, more or less, like Eretz Israel. There's Ashkenazim, there's Sfarim over there. Each one has their own custom. That's pretty much more or less uniform. There is a custom there. But what about a place like America, where they come from different places, different countries, and there is no really one uniform custom, because they come from so many different areas, and also America, before it was settled, there was no really Jewish established custom there, unlike Eretz Israel, where there was actually an established custom there for many, many years beforehand. So the question is, what happens? So the truth is that we found, Baruch Hashem, thank God, we found actually a source to corroborate this issue, to prove this issue. It says in the Tshuva of the Marshdam, in Yoredea Kuf Lamed Dalet. It says over there something interesting regarding the city of Saloniki, and Salonika. Right? What happened was that community also was gathered in from many different communities all over the world, and they gathered into one place, and that place became a center of Torah, of Jewish culture, all kinds of things. So what happened was that place had different customs that came in from different areas, very similar to what happened to in America. And they all came in, and they were all keeping their own custom. Some over here, some over there, each one in their own neighborhood, in their respective shuls, in their respective areas. That's how it was. So the truth is, right, that case resembles very much so the issue, the situation in America, gathering in from all kinds of areas, each one keeping their custom in their own respective place. So says the Marshdam over there something interesting about this. He says, right, that since Saloniki has a situation like this, that each place has their own custom in one city. So he says that because of that, there is really no uniform custom in the city, and therefore the city is not considered to have any custom. There is no custom over there. When you have a city like that, which is divided up into different communities, and each one has their own custom, that means that there is no custom, because each one, right, their custom is not strong enough to dominate the whole city, to dominate the whole area. So therefore, it becomes that the custom is not really worth anything in terms of obligating anybody to keep that custom. So therefore, he says that what happens in a case like that is that it reverts back to the original Din Torah. What does that mean, Din Torah? That means that we go back to the Din of the Shulchan Aruch. Whatever it says in Shulchan Aruch, since the Shulchan Aruch was accepted by the whole world, in every place, in every area in the world, the Shulchan Aruch was accepted. Maran Bet Yosef for the Sfardim, the Ramah for the Ashkenazim, that's the way they accepted it. So therefore, he says, right, that the din reverts back to the original din Torah, which is, for us, that means the Shulchan Aruch. So therefore, Rabbi, the truth is that in a case like this also in America, where they gathered from different areas, from different places, and they came to one place, there's a custom of the Bukharians, there's a custom of the Georgians, there's a custom of the Persians, there's a custom of the Syrians, there's a custom of the Ashkenazim, the Polish and the Russian, and all kinds of things like this, the German, all kinds of things. So what happens is, right, that means that there is no custom. So therefore, the truth is, right, technically speaking, a person should just keep the Shulchan Aruch in a case like that. Doesn't really have to keep the custom of his own individual place, or a synagogue, or a neighborhood, or whatever, all these kinds of issues. Doesn't have to keep those customs. They don't really obligate him. Why is that? Because since they moved from that country already, they left that country, they're not planning to go back. So therefore, what happens is now in their new place, where there is no uniform custom, every community has their own custom. So therefore, it becomes there is no custom. So therefore, it reverts back to the Shulchan Aruch. So therefore, the best thing that a person can do in a situation like this, when you're living in America, is to keep the Shulchan Aruch. If you want to keep also more than the Shulchan Aruch, according to the customs that you associate with your community, you could do that, but you're not really obligated, technically speaking. So therefore, a person really is only obligated to keep. Right? If he's Sephardi, he has to keep the rules of Maran Bet Yosef, the rulings of Maran Bet Yosef, as it's brought down in Shulchan Aruch and Bet Yosef. If he's Ashkenazi, he has to keep the rules of the Ramah. He has to keep the rulings of the Ramah. That's the way it is, Rabotai. And the rest is all additional. It's all icing on the cake. It's all tosafot. It's all right extra. But the main thing in a situation like this, since there is no established custom over here and it's all diverse here and there, so therefore the obligation really here is to keep the Shulchan Aruch, the rulings of the Shulchan Aruch, and tu below midi, right? That's no more than that. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen, Amen.